era, where we see that India is capable of demonstrating its capacity of launching, of targeting the 4 aerial targets at the same time by the Akash missile system. So Jai Hind everyone, today I am going to deliver my lecturate on the topic of the Missile Development Program of India. So it started in the year 1983 with the aim of the APJ Abdul Kalam, also called the Missile Man of India, by the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. So it constitutes of the Prithvi class, Prithvi missiles, the Akash missiles, the Trishul missile, the Nag anti-tank missiles are some of the missiles which comes under the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. Now the missiles are divided into different categories, starting from the cruise and the ballistic missile. So the basic difference between the cruise and the ballistic missile is that the ballistic missile have a projectile motion as far as its trajectory is concerned, and when we talk about the cruise missiles are low-lying missiles which operate at the low altitude level, due to which it is difficult to intercept it by the radar, which is one of its key highlights or importance of the cruise missiles. Now when we talk about other differentiation, it is about the surface-to-surface missiles. So we have various surface-to-surface missiles. Starting from the Agni missile, we have various variants which start from as low as 700 kilometers to as high as more than 7,000 kilometers. Starting from Agni 1 to Agni 2 to Agni 3 to Agni 4 to Agni V, which is the intercontinental ballistic missile of India with range of more than 7,000 kilometers. Then there is the Agni Prime of India, which has a range of 2,000 kilometers. Now moving on to the Prithvi missile, we have Prithvi 1, Prithvi 2, Prithvi 3, and Dhanush missile is one of the naval variant of the Dhanush missile. The Prithvi missile. Now moving on to the Prahar missile, which is another surface-to-surface ballistic missile of India, and apart from that we have the first India's quasi-ballistic missile, that is the Pralay missile, that is along the LAC and LOC of China as well as Pakistan. Now if we talk about the air-to-surface missiles, we have the Trishul missile, which is the small range missile. Then coming over to the Akash missile, which is a medium range, and then there is the Barak missile, which we have procured from the Israel. Then comes the Maitri missile. Now when we talk about the Nag missile, the Nag is an anti-tank missile which consists of the Amog and apart from that, if you talk about Nag missile, then there is air-to-surface missile, which is the Rudra missile. So we have various missiles that are currently we are operating at present, and also we have procured like the BrahMos missile and various other missiles from other countries like the Spike and the Meteor missile. So the importance of missile is the deterrence and to enhance the military capabilities of a country. So for India, developing the military capabilities and the missile plays a very key role when it is about the enhancing the military capabilities of India. Thank you.
Wildlife and its habitat cannot speak, so we must and we will. Jai Hind friends, today I will be putting some light on an important aspect, that is conservation of wildlife. So what is basically wildlife? Wildlife can be defined that any living thing which is not human and not domesticated, especially mammals, fish and others. The animals which are living in wild environment like forests which are not very much interacted with humans, nor the humans are very much interested to interact with them. For example, lions, crocodiles, snakes and etc. Now coming to the conservation part. What is conservation? Conservation can be defined as preventing the wildlife from uneven killings and poaching, and it also includes the practice to make people aware about the importance of conservation of wildlife. Like, what if we kill all the lions for the skin? Then eventually the population of deers will increase drastically and the ecosystem balance will be disturbed. And what if we kill all the hens for the meat? Then what will be the source of egg is left? So what should we do? So I must share some government initiatives which I have taken in recent years. Like government of many countries have made laws regarding in preventing the uneven hunting of the animals, and also they making ensure to take immediate actions if anyone makes such actions. Also, the government is also preventing industrial work near the forests so that they won't hamper the health and the environment in which the animals are living. Thirdly, and the major initiative are wildlife sanctuaries. Wildlife sanctuary is an area where endangered species are kept so that they won't go extinct. And the human interference is very much restricted in there. That's a great initiative from the governments. And some of the major Indian sanctuaries are Jim Corbett National Park and Manas Wildlife Sanctuaries and many others. So, in my opinion, friends, I've been to Manali in 2022, and I've been to Manali Wildlife Sanctuary, where it's such a great initiative. They are making people aware about the importance of conservation of life, and they're preventing to interfere the people with the wildlife environment. So in conclusion, I would say that the conservation of wildlife is very much important to maintain the food chain and also to keep the ecosystem balanced. Thank you.
With great power comes great responsibility. Gentlemen, this line perfectly suits my today's topic, which is on AFSPA. I would like to draw your attention. Recently, our Honorable Home Minister, Shri Amit Shah ji, has stated that they are revoking it from the 23 districts of Assam, fully as well as partially from one district, and 15 from the 15 police stations from Manipur and Nagaland as well. And with this statement is also given by our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, that this is an historic moment. Also was supported by the Chanu Sharmila ji, who is known as the Iron Lady, who was fasting against this act for last 16 years. Candidates, as we got to know about the importance of this act, I would like to draw your focus towards the historic part of this. Firstly, it was implemented by the Britishers in the year 1942 to suppress the Quit India movement, which was initiated by the Shri Mahatma Gandhi ji. At the time, he gave the Nara of Karo Ya Maro. To suppress the movement, they wanted to implement this act. Later, in the year 1947, by then government, this law was again imposed to suppress the violence which was happening because of the independence violence. Later in year 1990, it was again implemented with a wider concept, and the same concept, similar kind of act is also imposed in the Jammu and Kashmir. As we are aware of the historic part, let's delve into the implementation of this act. This can be implemented by a governor or an administrator of a union territory by considering a place disturbed. Let me draw attention towards the disturbed part. How it is defined that a place is disturbed? Once there is threat to the nation's sovereignty, tranquility and innocent people, the governor or the state administrator can define a state disturbed. After which the government gets the immunity to deploy the armed forces over there, and then after the responsibility comes to a warrant officer, a commissioned officer or a person who is of equivalent rank. He has the power to fire as well as he can use the force as he may find necessary. After which he can also search any premises without any warrant or any prior notification. Gentlemen, in conclusion, I will say that negotiations should also be there. Not with guns can be the short-term solution, but for the longer term, we need to negotiate. And with the line, I will conclude it that guns are always lesser than the words. Jai Hind.
In the last 2 centuries, we have noticed an exponential population growth in our planet. The rate is 1.9% per year, doubling by 40 years. My friends, if the rate would remain same, we all would be standing shoulder by shoulder, leaving no space on earth. Jai Hind everyone, today's lecture topic is population explosion. And the statement which I have given is of Stephen Hawking, and this is the magic of compounding. Now let me define it for you and make it understandable. Population explosion is actually the growth in population in any region, area or the country itself. This can become this have many repercussions, and if I talk factually, India had a strength of only 100 crores in 2000 as well, and in comparison to that we have 142 crores of strength today. More than 40 crores of gain in just 20 years, that's a thing to worry. And now I would like to tell you about why it is happening. First of all, the reason is natality, or I should say the birth rate. The birth rate is actually increasing because of good healthcare we are providing to our infants. The infant healthcare and the advanced technologies which we are working on is also decreasing the death rates. The death rates has decreased in India exponentially. Now this disbalance in health rates, disbalance in mortality and natality is actually causing the population explosion. Now, why should we care about it? And what are the reasons and what are the repercussions of it? First is, population explosion is causing the pollution. As we have seen the COP28 in recent UAE meeting, the climate change was actually aspected because of the population. And the unemployment rate, whose figure is 8% in India, is actually touching the sky with shame. Now, there is also one more reason. I have recently been talking to one of my friend who is from South Tamil Nadu. He told me about that there is lack of city planning in that area, and we have seen that that area had seen the shelling of Mishong cyclone. These are all the repercussions of population. Now let me tell you about what we can do about it. We should actually inculcate the family services in it. The family services planning which has been inculcated by the government should be approached to each and every state and each and every villages. Apart from that, we can also should make aware people to consider adoption, because that would also lead to population control and also help people. Apart from that, we can make people aware about the contraceptive use that could control the birth rate. Now conclusively, I would like to tell you that if we do not take care of our size, then nature will do it. Thank you.
Aim high, work hard, and embrace the journey, because without aim, life is meaningless. Good morning, friends. Today I, Paratrooper Chandrasekhar Pandey, standing in front of you to deliver my lecturate on the topic, My Aim in Life. As I was born in a middle-class family, I was watching my family, my mother and father, working hard to fulfill our needs, and also my cousin's brother, who was working for being a part of Indian Army. The day he was selected in Bengal Engineering, it became my aim also to join Indian Army, and I started working on it. I took participation in various co-curricular activities of my school, represented my school in various regional and national level athletics games, also become our school sports captain in class 11th and 12th. Just after passing out from my school, I started working in my physical, improving my physical. And I got selected in Indian Army in my third attempt. But at that time I was selected, I need something more, something great. So I decided to join Para Special Force. There are 5 and 6 commandos at that time presented in our ARO, and as we have 56 personnel there who have 100 number physical, we got a chance to join Para Special Force directly. So I decided to join that. I fulfilled the basic requirement of those, and went to Para Center, PRTC, Parachute Regiment Training Center in Bangalore, and did my recruitment there. I was overall best in all other activities and got 6th ranking in 125 recruits, and got a chance to join my choice unit. I chose 4 Para Special Force, did my basic provision of 3 months. It was a very hard time to face those struggles. I, with my friend Himanshu Mehra, cleared that basic provision, and among 40 provies, we are 16 who cleared that and got a chance to do our basic para jump. We did that 5 basic para jump in Agra, and after that I got Charlie team in 4 para special force and went to Kupwara to serve my Charlie team. At that time, from 2022 to the whole 2023, I was the part of 3 major operations: Operation Siva, Operation Birsa, and the ongoing Operation Rakshak. And at last, I want to say one thing, that aim high, work hard, and embrace the journey. But keep one thing in mind, that always learn from your failure, because without failure, no one becomes successful in his life. Thank you.
Thomas Jefferson, constitutional father of United States of America, has once said that we hold these truths to be self-evident, inevitable, universal, that all men are created are equal with certain unalienable rights like liberty, life, and pursuit of happiness. Jai Hind everyone. Today I am going to give a lecture on the topic of fundamental rights. In Karachi session of Indian National Congress, under Dr. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel has passed a resolution to form first fundamental rights for our India. But after independence later, Dr. Ambedkar ji, our constitutional father, has kept their fundamental rights under Part 3, Article 12 to Article 35, and it's also called as Magna Carta of the Constitution of India. Now, what are the types of fundamental rights? There are 6 types of fundamental rights in India. First right to equality, which is in Article 14 to Article 18. Then right to freedom, Article 19 to Article 22. Then right to right against exploitation. Then right to freedom of religion, 25 to 28. Article cultural and educational rights, Article 29 and 30. Then right to constitutional remedies, Article 32. With these rights, Supreme Court in Kesavananda Bharati case has held that fundamental rights are a basic structure of our constitution. With this significance, let us see what is this importance of the fundamental rights having in our constitution. It checks the obstruction of the power and evasion of the state. Also, it helps the citizens to claim their rights against the state invasion. And it leads to preservation of our democratic ideals and protects the individual liberty, ensures dignity of the individual. Then coming out to the next importance is, it leads to social equality and social justice. For example, abolition of untouchability, Article 17 is a positive right where nowhere we can see in any constitution of the democracy. It's only in India. And also social equality, Article 21A, right to education is in India. Because of that, we can see the literacy rate is very much improving. Like literacy rate is around 74.3%. So this shows that our constitutional fundamental rights are very important to preserve our democratic ideals, to empower the development of India. Then, although it's not without any criticism, there are so many criticisms for fundamental rights. For example, it leads with excessive limitations and so many restrictions, like Article 19 Class 2 Act, so many restrictions, and with ambiguous and vague definitions, like example, defamation, public order, morality is nowhere defined in anywhere in our constitution. Then coming on to the next limitation is although it's not sacrosanct and immutable, Parliament can abolish any right. For example, 44th Constitutional Amendment Act abolished right to property, which is under Article 19 Class F. So, and preventive detention is also under Article 22, where nowhere in the Constitution, it's only in our Indian fundamental rights. So finally, to conclude this, in my opinion, the most important part of our Constitution, also taking inspiration from our Constitutional Father, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Article 32, the constitutional remedies is the most important one, which is also called as heart and soul of the Constitution. Without this heart and soul and of the Article 32, the entire Constitution will die. So, thank you. Jai Hind.
Friends, in 2023, India's Council Research and Development and Israel Defense Research Development Authority signed a memorandum of understanding. Its main aim is to work jointly towards the artificial intelligence, semiconductor sector, and the health and the agriculture sector also. Jai Hind everyone. Today's my lecture topic is about Indo-Israel relationship. Well, India and Israel have a bilateral ties in terms of economic sector, defense sector and also in the health and agriculture sector. And now starting with the area of cooperation between both the nations, the first one is the diplomatic ties. Although India recognized Israel in 1950 but established diplomatic ties with Israel in 1992. And also after that there is come the economic sector. India is third largest trade partner of Israel in Asia, and most of the trade is in the diamond sector. And now comes the defense sector. According to the SSB report, Israel the second largest arms supplier to the India, like the Falcon, Heron, Searcher, second drone to the India, and also the Spider anti-aircraft missile system. If we talk about the other sector like the agriculture sector, then between both the nations there is a 3 areas agreement to enhance the agriculture cooperation. And next one come is that Israel is also joined the International Solar Alliance of India to work towards the renewable energy sector. In the last, I want to conclude that about the challenges regarding their ties. Like we can see that in the recent months there is a war happened between the Israel and Palestine, so it became quite challenging for India to establishing ties with both the nation. Basically India is supporting Israel about the Hamas attack, but it also provide the humanitarian assistance to the Palestine region also. So in conclusion, I want to say that India establish its ties like they can be memorandum of understanding signed between both the nations regarding the free trade agreement. Also both the nations work towards the population explosion, water scarcity and the other sector like the climate change also. And also India and Israel work towards on the West Asia policy. Thank you.
Strong economy is a source of national strength. Jai Hind everyone. Today for my lecture topic is Indian economy. The economy of India is a middle developing market economy. It is the 5th largest economy in the nominal GDP and third largest in the purchasing power parity. According to the International Monetary Fund, on the basis of per capita income, India is 145th in the GDP, nominal GDP, and 122nd in the purchasing power parity. GDP has shown rapidly increase in the from 4.5% in 1970 and 1980 to 5.5% in 1990s to early 2000. The country is aiming to be a 5.5 trillion GDP in the next 20-25 years. In the next 20-25 year, historically, India tracked its economy and GDP in 3 sectors: agriculture, industry, and service sectors. Agriculture include milk, farming, forestry, animal and various activities like that. Industries include various manufacturing subsectors, and services include retail, infrastructure, banking, and various other services.
Surveys has shown that there is an increase in the startups for the past 6 years, and India has become third startup after US startup ecosystem after US and China. At last, I would like to conclude by saying that India is in the developing phase. There are many challenges it will have to face in the future. Thank you.
Recently, Narendra Modi and his Bangladeshi counterpart Sheikh Hasina inaugurated 3 railway projects and 1 thermal power project via the video conferencing, and also Bangladesh invited in the India invited Bangladesh in the G20 summit. Good morning, gentlemen. I will be delivering my lecturate in the Bangladesh-India relations. India and Bangladesh shares cultural, historical and civilizational relationship with each other and shares 4,096.7 kilometers of boundaries. And India is also the first country that recognized Bangladesh after the liberation war in 1971. India shares cultural ties with Bangladesh, and also the national anthem of both the countries are written by the Rabindranath Tagore. If I talk about the cooperation between both the countries, the first is the trading cooperation. Bangladesh is the biggest trading partner of India in the Southeast Asia and the subcontinent of India. The India export to the Bangladesh is around $8 billion US, and also the bilateral trade between these two countries are around $14.2 billion US. Now, if I give you the details of defense cooperation, Indian and Bangladeshi army indulge in the Maitri exercise, and with the Indian Navy, they do the Bongo Sagar and the Milan exercises. If I give you the details about the energy cooperation, India and Bangladesh sign a friendship pipeline in which they transport around 1 million metric tons of diesel to the Bangladesh Parbatipur from the Siliguri, West Bengal. Now, if I talk about the challenges to maintain this harmonious relationship, the first one is the river disputes. India and Bangladesh shares 54 common shares with rivers, but there is Tista river disputes and Farka barrage disputes. And also the China's BRI initiative, also a biggest concerning area for India, that will lead to the disruption with the relationship with Bangladesh. If I conclude this topic, Bangladesh is a very trusted partner of India, and we have to maintain this to counter the China's influence with the BRI. Thank you.
Jai Hind, everyone. So, as we know that in international relations, there is neither a permanent friend nor a foe, but only national interests are there. So, my today's lecture topic is India's foreign policy. So, let's understand what is foreign policy. By foreign policy, my country has always worked and formulated a policy that guards her national interests in the external affairs, and also keeping cordial relations with the neighboring countries and other countries. So, the main tools of
foreign policies are foreign aid, appointed ambassadors, international trade and armed forces, and economic growth and also the global participation in multiple organizations, for example, United Nations and others. So the main objective of making a foreign policy is to reflect the traditional values of peace and tranquility and also securing borders. So if you talk about the evolution of India's foreign policy, we gained our political independence, and we knew that being a country that is facing challenges, for example, poverty and low literacy level, we knew the importance of interdependence. And at that time we followed a policy of non-alignment, because we knew the worth of independence in the external affairs, and therefore we wanted to have a strategic autonomy in the world's affairs. So India also signed a Panchashil, 5 virtues agreement with China, but it was brokered in 1962. After that, fast forward to 2023, India is having a foreign policy that at first guards its national interests, and that is seen from that India's participation in various global forums, in which India is a adhesive and also only an exceptional country that can talk with Iran, Russia and China at the very same time by being a part of Quad and BRICS respectively. So and the foreign aid that India provides with has provided with to Turkey and Maldives and other things. So these are also the true reflections of India's objective. So at last I want to state that India has aligned itself in the world order in a way that suits to its people and that keeps its territorial integrity at its core, and its strategic autonomy maintaining even after 75 years of independence is appreciable. Thank you.
Performance by everyone. Everyone did well today, and good luck for your upcoming sessions.